Have you ever found yourself sitting on the edge of despair, staring into the void of your own fears? A life riddled with regrets, shadows of a past that just won't fade away. But what if I told you, right at that moment, lies the key to your liberation? In this powerful exploration, we'll uncover how one man's decision to change his life illuminates the path from darkness to inner peace. Join us as we delve into a story of courage, transformation, and profound spiritual awakening. Section 1. Script in the vast canvas of life. We often become artists painting our existence with colors of fear, doubt, and regret. Each brushstroke tells a story, but what happens when the masterpiece reflects pain rather than beauty? The tale we share today involves Ajay, a man known not for his virtues, but for his entanglements in a life riddled with darkness, symbolized aptly by a criminal realm. Yet, even in the depths of despair, the flicker of hope can light the way towards spiritual awakening. Ajay once walked streets where shadows lurked around every corner, a man who had cut ties with his true self. His pursuit of ill-gotten gains had shackled him to a life devoid of meaning, binding him in an intricate web of choices that led only to sorrow. One fateful day, Ajay felt an inexplicable urge to seek something greater, something transcendental, an understanding that had eluded him for so long. This longing took him toward the teachings of the Buddha, a figure who embodies the very essence of enlightenment, liberation, and serenity. But there lay the conflict. As he contemplated stepping into the light of the Buddha's teachings, the chains of fear coiled around him. A nagging thought haunted Ajay. Would others accept him? Would they follow him on this fragile journey towards transformation? It is a fear that many of us are familiar with, the fear of judgment, of not being worthy, of being too broken to mend. As the daunting walls of doubt began closing in, he hesitated at the threshold of change. In efforts to bypass this crippling fear, Ajay devised a plan that felt more like an escape route than a courageous step forward. He decided to sneak around, to enter from the shadows instead of the main gate, and attempt to shield himself from the very judgment that held him captive. Yet, the universe has a way of bringing us face to face with our deepest truths, and it wasn't long before fate intervened. During his covert operation, he was caught by none other than the Buddha himself. This encounter was not an accident, but rather a fateful design. The Buddha, aware of the struggles etched on Ajay's soul, recognized the fear that coursed through him. He did not shun Ajay for his past, but met him with compassion, a testament to the core principle of spirituality, understanding and acceptance. Ajay's exterior may have screamed resistance, but within lay a desperate desire for change. This moment stands as a universal reflection of our collective struggle, the battle between who we have been and who we truly want to become. As the two locked eyes, a silent dialogue unfolded. The Buddha, with his serene aura, mirrored the acceptance Ajay so desperately sought. His presence alone whispered the profound truth that no one is beyond redemption, that even the most flawed among us can aspire to grace. Ajay's journey towards transformation was no longer about evasion. It became an invitation to embrace vulnerability and authenticity. With time spent in the benevolent presence of the Buddha, Ajay began to uncover layers of himself previously hidden. Each moment of shared wisdom chipped away at the fortifications of shame he had built. He listened intently to teachings echoing thousands of years, messages resounding clearly, such as the idea that suffering is intrinsic to life, yet one can find peace by altering their response. Here, Ajay finds solace in the timeless realization that our struggles often pave the road to growth. In his moments of reflection under the vastness of the night sky, Ajay began to acknowledge the shadows of his own past. The mistakes, the misdeeds, they were but lessons cloaked in harsh realities. And rather than recoiling in fear, he learned to walk alongside them, transforming regret into gratitude. As he gathered the fragments of his spirit, the concepts of rebirth and renewal began to manifest in his heart. The journey towards self-reclamation is not linear. It meanders through valleys of doubt and mountains of courage. Ajay's metamorphosis serves as a reminder that the heart's deepest yearnings often flourish amidst adversity. The cycle of life offers us endless opportunities for transformation, and Ajay's awakening becomes an embodiment of this truth. He embraces the idea that change, real change, hinges on the decisions we make in the very moments that test our resolve. Perhaps the most liberating realization for Ajay was the agency of choice. Today, you might feel trapped within your own constructed prison, but remember, every day brings with it the gift of choice. The possibility to reshape your narrative, to shine light on the dormant dreams that linger in your heart. One can either dwell in the shadows of yesterday or leap toward the illumination of tomorrow, leaving behind footprints in the sand of time. As the sun sets on this part of Ajay's journey, we are left with the powerful thought that embracing vulnerability does not signify weakness. Rather, it is the ultimate strength. To expose one's scars is to cultivate hope in a world rife with despair. Spiritual motivation invites us to rise, to unearth our true potential, and to step boldly toward our destinies, imperfections and all. Transitioning through life will always brew a tempest of doubts. Yet, it is in our ability to surrender our fears, to listen to the whispers of the universe guiding us towards hope, that we find our true selves. Ajay's story resonates within each of us, urging us to move beyond our past limitations, to remember that every new day is an invitation to evolve, an opportunity for spiritual enlightenment. In the heart of Ajay's story lies an undeniable truth. The profound battle within ourselves often overshadows the conflicts we face externally. Having approached the threshold of enlightenment with trepidation, he now stands at the crossroads of fear and the desire for transformation. The shades of his past loom large, whispering doubts that threaten to engulf his newfound hope. He needs guidance, a beacon to navigate the storm that resides within. What he finds in this chapter of his journey is the illuminating power of mindfulness and acceptance. Ajay encountered a simple question that beckoned him toward introspection. What if I allowed myself to be vulnerable? It's a question that challenges the very fabric of the identity we construct in the face of society's judgment. Every person, every criminal, is layered not merely by their actions, but by a complex amalgamation of experiences, choices, and internal struggles. The reality of our lives is often woven with threads of regret and longing. Yet, it is precisely within this tapestry that we can uncover the seeds of spiritual nourishment. As Ajay began to converse with the Buddha, the exchange illuminated the essence of acceptance and its link to personal liberation. Look not just to your past, Ajay, but to the vast possibilities your future holds, the Buddha urged. Here we find one of the core tenets of spiritual motivation, the embrace of potential that exists in the present moment. This was a vital shift in Ajay's mindset, acknowledging that while he could not erase his past, he certainly could redefine his future. Ajay's journey toward understanding invites us to ponder our paths. Each soul is uniquely burdened with its own shadows and scars, yet it is through embracing these imperfections that we discover our authentic selves. Like Ajay, we are frequently trapped in a prison built of our fears, perpetually gazing back at the mistakes we have made. However, what if we viewed these very mistakes as stepping stones to enlightenment? Your past does not define you. Rather, it is the canvas from which you can paint your future. As the Buddha wisely said, let us dive deeper into Ajay's state of mind. After he was caught attempting to approach the Buddha in secret, he was faced with a critical realization. No matter how he tried to conceal himself, the truth of his existence remained vividly clear to those aware of his journey. The Buddha, with an unwavering gaze, didn't cast judgment, but reflected compassion instead. This moment encapsulates a pivotal point in our quest for spiritual motivation. Acceptance can thrive even in spaces saturated with fear. Ajay learned that facing the light often requires standing boldly under the scrutiny of one's own self-reflection. As time passed, Ajay began to recognize the image of a phoenix rising from the ashes within himself. His transformation lay not only in the desire to change, but in understanding the deep-rooted nature of his suffering. When he connected with the teachings, he realized the importance of letting go and cultivating mindfulness. It was a gradual process, akin to peeling back layers of an onion. With each layer removed, he encountered tears, which inevitably led him closer to the core of his essence. Sharing these raw experiences became an outlet for healing, one that resonated deeply not only with him but with others who found solace in the authenticity of his struggle. As Ajay embraced mindfulness, he was compelled to confront the emotional blockades he had erected over the years. Emotion is like water in a dam. If not released, it can cause catastrophic floods. Thus, he began his journey toward allowing feelings to flow freely, expressing vulnerability not as a weakness but a pathway to strength. Ajay's path mirrored many of our own. To find the courage to sit with uncomfortable emotions rather than flee from them. Practicing mindfulness offered Ajay a pivotal opportunity to grasp the present moment fully. Many of us find ourselves trapped in a whirlwind of overthinking, reliving our past or worrying about the future, often at the cost of missing the beauty of the now. But the Buddha's teachings provide a gentle reminder: the present is where life unfolds. Live simply in each moment, and with practice, the clutter of your mind will fade. He encouraged. Ajay began to ponder the implications of living in the present. The vast open space of time stretched out before him like a blank canvas. Each brushstroke became a conscious choice, a decision to craft a narrative of redemption and growth. This awakening fosters not only spiritual enlightenment, but also the essential understanding that change is possible. As Ajay started silencing the voices of doubt, he redefined his daily life to embody commitment to growth, patience, and presence. He took the step of committing to daily practices that aligned with his newfound beliefs. Meditation became a sacred ritual, a means to connect with the deepest parts of himself. Sitting in silence, he unearthed wisdom that had long been buried under layers of regret and fear. "I am not my past," he repeated as a mantra, letting the words wash over him like a gentle stream, cleansing his spirit. This moment resonated deeply with many. Ajay began to realize the beauty of sharing his vulnerabilities with others. By recounting his story, he transcended the judgments others held against him, embracing the imperfect fragments of a life well lived. We are all on this path together. No one starts at the same place nor ends at the same destination. He often reminded his growing circle of friends, seeking guidance. His story evolved into a journey of empathy and connection, encouraging all to explore their own narratives without fear of judgment. Ajay's desire to seek enlightenment transformed into a dedicated mission to help others trapped in their shadows. In doing so, he not only nurtured his growth but ignited flames of hope in countless others. As we reflect upon Ajay's evolving journey, we are called to engage in the practice of compassion for ourselves and others. Much like the teachings of the Buddha, life challenges us to embrace kindness and love toward our imperfections. It is crucial to connect with the realization that our wounds can connect us with others on similar journeys. The shift from self-doubt to acceptance is not merely a personal one. It is a collective awakening. We are reminded that the path to enlightenment does not demand perfection, but rather sincerity, humility, and an open heart. To abandon the old narratives we cling to is to set forth on a journey of empowerment. Ajay's realization is a fundamental truth. The moment you decide to free yourself from your past, the potential for healing is immeasurable. The scars of yesterday can guide us, but should never define us. In every seed of doubt lies the potential for blossoming into truth, he discovered. Every day represents a fresh start and invitation to rewrite our stories and craft our destinies. As Ajay continues to walk with intention, we too are beckoned to step into the light of our true selves. The journey we embark upon may be fraught with challenges, but the rewards of self-discovery far outweigh the fears of inadequacy. Embrace your journey. Take flight and recognize that every moment lived in the present contributes to your personal evolution. As we enter the final chapter of Ajay's transformative journey, we delve into the profound realization of possibility that looms within every individual, especially those who have wandered far into the depths of despair. This chapter emphasizes the core spiritual truth that the future remains unwritten, waiting for us to pen our new stories with courage and intention. Ajay's encounter with the Buddha serves as the catalyst for a ripple effect of self-discovery and renewal, a power that instigates not only personal change, but also empowers those around him to reflect and inspire change as well. Ajay stood at a precipice. He comprehended that he had delved deeply into darkness, but it was here that the light began to seep through the cracks of self-doubt. The judgments of others felt heavy as he walked through life feeling like an outsider. His past behaviors, the stigma attached to him as a criminal, they all clung like shadows, eager to define him. Yet, in the presence of the Buddha, he discovered a guiding force imbued with compassion and understanding. This encounter shook the very foundation of his beliefs, urging him to seek not only redemption for himself, but to extend grace to others in their struggles. The most profound suffering emerges from the fears we allow to dictate our lives. He reflected, contemplating the power of forgiveness, not only of others but of oneself. This is where the heart of spiritual motivation lies. It nurtures the idea that liberation from suffering is possible if we choose to let go of the baggage that weighs us down. Ajay began to internalize that it isn't merely societal judgment that binds us, but our unwillingness to forgive our past mistakes that often keeps us shackled. In his quest for enlightenment, Ajay took deliberate steps to reshape how he viewed his past. Rather than seeing it as a chain anchoring him to a dark identity, he began to view these experiences as teachers of resilience. Every wound is an opportunity to heal, he said to himself during introspective moments, allowing each failure to evolve into a source of strength. This pivot in perception marked significant progress in his journey, one that we can all learn from. Ajay's transformation was not one of overnight success, but rather a series of conscious choices culminating in a significant shift. He started reaching out to individuals who experienced similar hardships, forging a community rooted in empathy and shared healing. Together, we can rewrite the narrative, he proclaimed to those who gathered, finding purpose in his journey of redemption. As he extended the gift of understanding to others, he began to feel the weight of his own mistakes lift, revealing the radiant possibilities of who he could become. His new calling drove him back to the teachings of the Buddha, where he absorbed lessons that unfolded deeper wisdom. He learned the importance of mindfulness, not merely in thought, but in action. Ajay became keenly aware of how he projected himself into the world. His presence served as a testament to what it means to consciously engage with life. He cultivated an environment where honesty flourished, encouraging others to share their truths without fear of repercussions. In this sacred space, the ripples of vulnerability led to collective empowerment. Share your scars, Ajay urged. Let them be banners of survival rather than symbols of shame. Our stories connect us in ways that allow healing to flourish. The practice of vulnerability transformed his interactions. It became an invitation for others to reveal their hidden struggles, creating bonds invisible but undeniably strong. Ajay realized the healing power in stories, how by sharing personal experiences, Barriers crumble and authentic connections blossom. As days turned into weeks, Ajay found that the spiritual lessons transformed not only his life, but those who ventured along the path beside him. The Buddha's teachings became a beacon of hope, encouraging all who encountered Ajay to reconsider their relationship with their past. He fostered discussions that centered on personal growth, acceptance, and the realization that the present moment is where true change occurs. What lies behind us and ahead of us are tiny matters compared to what lives within us. Ajay, often quoted, reminding others of the incredible strength hidden within their very beings. The insights shared within this circle began to permeate deeper, weaving a tapestry of change that extended far beyond their own lives. Yet within this journey existed an essential truth that Ajay deeply understood. Change does not mean forsaking one's past. Instead, it calls for embracing it fully and recognizing the role it has played in shaping who you are today. Our pasts are not chains. They are the guiding stars that lead to our destinies. He articulated in his talks, echoing wisdom that urges us to live authentically and with purpose. For Ajay, embracing his identity, a man who once walked a lonely and dark road, became a cornerstone of his spiritual awakening. He acknowledged his history with humility and gratitude, realizing that within the struggles lay an ocean of wisdom waiting to surface. The path of enlightenment he initially approached with fear transformed into a pilgrimage of strength founded upon love, acceptance, and growth. Together with his growing community, Ajay learned to celebrate the small victories of change, reinforcing the notion that each new day offers a chance for renewal. In every moment, he imparted, there lies a precious opportunity to evolve, regardless of yesterday's shadows. As Ajay continued to delve into various spiritual practices, he immersed himself in meditation, cultivating a deeper connection with existence beyond the tangible world. His understanding shifted, unveiling the notion that true change is rooted in inner peace, which radiates outward. The very act of stillness revealed profound truths about interconnectedness, how our lives are intertwined, and every action reverberates through the fabric of humanity. Yet, Ajay's journey was not isolated. It held the potential to serve as a guiding light for many others standing at the crossroads of their lives. The process of change was no longer just his own. It became a shared endeavor, gracing him with humility and purpose. In time, Ajay's evolution blossomed into a mission to inspire others to embrace their unique paths, irrespective of how daunting they appear. You have the power to reshape your destiny, he reminded each individual who crossed his path. These words, simple yet potent, encouraged countless souls to pivot from despair to hope. Each person Ajay encountered became a facet of his journey, reinforcing an essential truth: we are all works in progress. Every step forward, every act of courage, whether monumental or subtle, knitted the strands of human experience together, illuminating the beauty of legacy, understanding, and love. In the grand tapestry of existence, Ajay emerged as a reminder that spiritual awakening does not end with enlightenment. Rather, it engenders a continuous cycle of growth and discovery. As we conclude this chapter of Ajay's life, a journey that traverses the chasms of despair, the illumination of self-acceptance, and the fluidity of futures yet to be penned, we are left with an enduring question: what legacy do we wish to leave, and how do we want our stories to impact those who follow? Ajay's expedition serves to remind us that every moment is precious, a gift waiting to be embraced. In accepting our past while striving for transformation, we enrich the world around us. Let us step forward with newfound wisdom, understanding that change is achievable, possible, and indeed, a radiant possibility every single day.